Guys, what's going on? And I hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. Hope you guys are well. Um, Guys, I'm getting a little better now. Still a bit, you could probably tell from my voice, still a little flaky, but I'm getting much better. And it's great. It's great talking to you guys, and thank you for your wonderful messages, all of you. It means a lot when you guys sending me all those messages. It makes me feel so much better. I've even had emails and stuff, people saying, Imran, I hope you get well soon, and you don't know how good that makes me feel. You know, it overwhelms you because you don't actually know how many people are watching you. You don't know how many people like are supporting you and watching you. So guys, give this video a smash the like button on this video. It really helps the channel, as you guys know, as you guys are aware. I tell you all the time, share the videos as well. Really appreciate your support by if you sharing the videos. Guys, I will be doing a lot of when I say a lot of, I will be trying to get some Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury video out tomorrow. I want to talk a bit about that. I will do that video. I will do a video about Wilder and Fury, because I know there's a big fight this weekend, and obviously I will be talking about that fight. But I wanted to talk a little bit about I saw an article with the Daily Mail and Daily Mail Sport, where they voted Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao and Canelo Alvarez the top 3 fighters of the 21st century. And number 4 was Bernard Hopkins, and Marco Barrera was in there. Gennady Golovkin was in there. Alexander Usyk was in the number 9. And there was a couple of others. I think Roy Jones wasn't in there, which I found kind of bit weird. But in terms of the top 3, so Floyd was number 1, Pacquiao was number 2, and Canelo was number 3. Do you guys agree with that? Do you guys think that these 3 are the 3 best fighters of the 21st century? A lot of people would agree with that. I certainly think they are. I think they're the most complete. And what I mean by that is that Pacquiao, obviously, although he had more losses, he was a very dominant champion in his prime, and he was battering and bashing up guys. He was sensational. I think Roy Jones definitely deserves, because you can say Roy in his prime was like a Floyd, like a Canelo, and like a Pacquiao. You could even make a case that he was even more sensational than some of those 3. So, which I was surprised that he wasn't even in the top 10. But Roy, you know, he also he suffered a lot of defeats. You know, in the 2000s, you know, he's been knocked out quite a few times. Maybe because of his run at the end, you know, his end career, where, you know, where we all know that wasn't the prime Roy Jones. He was getting knocked out a lot. Maybe that's what's had an impact and effect on him being not even being in the top 10. But let's be honest, we all know that when Roy was in his prime, Max Kellerman used to say something about Roy Jones. He goes, Floyd Mayweather was the best pound for pound fighter in the world. And there was nobody used to dispute that Roy Jones was the best pound for pound fighter in the world. Nobody ever questioned that Roy Jones was and Floyd Mayweather was in his prime when Roy was in his prime. And Max Kellerman said no one was ever saying that Floyd Mayweather is the best pound for pound fighter in the world. That's the biggest. That's how wide the difference was. That's how, you know, how much Roy was so much better than everybody else in his prime, and Floyd was in his prime at the time. And Max always, I know Max always brings that up, and that shows how great that Roy Jones was in his prime. But in terms of the 3 complete fighters that I've seen, I have to say that Floyd, Manny, and Canelo Alvarez are the 3 best guys. I think they're very, very complete. I think they were sensational, and I didn't really get to see a lot of the Roy Jones, I've got to be honest. Like, yeah, I seen highlights, but he was before my time, so it's hard for me to kind of, yeah, I know, you know, it's hard when it's a bit like Maradona and Messi, for example. Like, you know how great Maradona was, but he wasn't in my time. Obviously Messi was in my time, so I can give my honest opinion because I've seen Messi play live. He was in my era. Whereas now, if somebody's not from your era, like Roy was not from my era, it's hard for me to say, well, you know, because I wasn't there. It's like Muhammad Ali. Although we know how great they were and we know how great they are, it's hard. It's hard when you haven't seen someone live, when you weren't in that era. It that their career doesn't resonate with you as somebody that you saw, that you were around when they were fighting. Um, and Manny Pacquiao was around. Canelo Alvarez is fighting right now. He's around. Floyd Mayweather was around when I was watching boxing, so I can resonate to their careers a lot more than I can to someone like Roy Jones. Even Bernard Hopkins, but Roy Jones, I more saw Roy Jones like, the Roy Jones that really isn't the Roy Jones that we should be talking about. The one that was getting knocked out by guys that really weren't in his league. But, he went on too long. Like Bernard Hopkins' career, he was ranked number 4 on that list. His career was sensational because he was a champion late on into his 40s. He even fought, like, wasn't even fighting Kovalev at the age of 50. And his career was sensational. Roy Jones was way more talented than Bernard Hopkins, but Bernard Hopkins probably had a much more stellar career in terms of, he look how long his career went on. Like Roy's prime was better than Bernard's prime, but Bernard had a sensational career where it went on for so long, and he managed to change and adapt his style, and hence be successful at such a late age, whereas Roy Jones wasn't, because Roy Jones was more a naturally gifted guy, but as he got older, he lost those reflexes, he lost those instincts that he had when he was younger. So yeah, I definitely, for me, the 3 best are Canelo, Mayweather, and Pacquiao. I definitely think Roy Jones in his prime deserves to be in that top 3, not the number 1, but I don't know the time frame, the time span, how they're really judging it. But these 3 definitely of my time, I would say, are the 3 best. I think Canelo right now is almost he's close to unbeatable right now, So yeah, I definitely agree with that. I don't know what you guys think. Do you guys have someone else that you think should be in that list, or someone else that you think that deserves to be there ahead? It's up for debate, really. It's these type of things is opinion, but it's a Daily Mail Sport giving their opinion. I personally would agree with the top 3. Bernard at 4, then there was Marco Antonio Barrera, Gennady Golovkin, Alexander Usyk. There's so many great fighters. Actually, Marquez was number 5. Marquez is a great fighter, no doubt about it. Could there be some? Is there other guys on that could be on that list? Possibly. Marquez was a special fighter. Cotto was a special fighter. I don't think Cotto was on the list. Some people were saying Joe Calzaghe. Why isn't Joe Calzaghe? Calzaghe could have been on that list, because Calzaghe was special as well. So yeah, it's up for debate, really, isn't it? Like who should be on that list, who shouldn't be on that list. Lennox, I think Lennox was on there. I'm not sure. I can't remember for sure, but I think Lennox was on there. Anyway, he was probably one of the. I think for me, Lennox is the greatest British fighter ever. He was an unbelievable fighter, and he definitely is one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. But again, Lennox, when was his last fight? Like early 2000s. Yeah, so there were some great names like Barrera. What a fighter he was. He was number 8, I think. But yeah, there were some really good fighters on that list. But for me, the top 3, Canelo, Floyd, and Pacquiao. These 3 are definitely, for me, the 3 best guys. And guys that actually, for me, were the best. I think the only guy that probably pushes them is Roy Jones in his prime. But again, I think because of Roy Jones being knocked out quite a few times towards the back end of his career, I think that probably is why he probably wasn't in the top 10. And obviously the time frame, maybe had an impact on why he wasn't in that list. Bernard Hopkins, number 4. He definitely had a stellar career. Marquez, number 5. That could be questionable. But Marquez was no doubt about it, was a great fighter. And let's not forget, the fights that he had with Pacquiao were all very close. And if Pacquiao's ranked number 2 after Floyd Mayweather, and Marquez gave Pacquiao, you know, 4 tough fights, knocking him out in the 4th one, you know, then that's probably why Marquez has such a high rating as well. You know, he gave the guy that, you know, Daily Mail think that the second best guy, 21st century. He gave him absolute wars 4 times, and you know, many thought that Marquez deserved some of the wins in those 4. I know he knocked Pacquiao out in the 4th fight, but they thought that some of the other fights were close as well. So yeah, that's just my take. What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think those 3 are the best 3 fighters of the last 21st century? Leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think, guys. Make sure to smash the like button and make sure to share the videos. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.